Kobe's parents came to stay with us, and they're using the van. So we ran the fridge up for them, and it didn't get cold. So we've decided that now we need to replace it. So we have pretty much found an LG fridge to suit. It'll pretty much nearly hit the roof, and yeah, it's a honker, but it'll do a really good job. It is 240 volt, so we'll be running an inverter full time to run it. And I've yet to buy that, but we'll get there eventually. So we're just going to start stripping it out and swapping it over. We're just going to try and figure it out as we go. I think we might have ripped the compressor off the bottom of the fridge. It's a bit hard to see, but pulled the screw out there. Yeah, that's leaving it behind. We got it out.
That double-sided paper in the back.
Fitting 15 mil just. Look at the amount of dust on it. Gone mouldy. Yeah. Oh, probably not a bad thing. Everything's off this back. Had a little screamer in there for the security alarm, but that's gone. And then power in, and then probably power from the car. That's about it for the drain. So old one measured 550, and so does our new one, but it was tight as, and once you add the aluminium strip, it's just too tight. So we're going to widen the opening by about 10 mil on one side, and hope for the best. Greg's going to do a great job.
It'll probably pop out before you get too far down.
He said yes. So stripped back as far as we want to be. Greg's just measuring up. He's going to build a frame where he is there, and just make that pretty much hit the ceiling. And we're just going to build that out of here and then bring it in. So just trying to figure out our measurements, because we want this face timber to continue all the way up to the roof, because that's where we're going to be screwing the fridge back to hold it in. So it's a delicate procedure, especially when you care. And Greg cares. All of our measurements have been based off this fridge. It is an LG 240 something litre fridge, and yeah, just going to make it work. It's got a decent capacity. It's got a right hand hinge on it, so the bed's on this side, so it hinges toward the bed, which is what we want, and just the sheer capacity of it compared to what was in there is just awesome. The drawer is, yeah, fruit and veg, and a little pull-out tray up the top. Just means we've got a little bit more accessibility, and it's like a 60 litre freezer, so it's pretty huge. Don't know about the brushed finish. because it's just going to have fingerprints all over it. So yeah, now we are pretty much at the stage where we're going to put some black angle here and have a flat surface on the fridge and then an angle across the front here, and then that's how it's going to sit back into the recess we've made. So we're going to do that all the way around, and then at the bottom we're going to have to get a little bit fancy because this is quite a large gap and the aluminium profiles and stuff all don't quite fit up nicely. We are in a regional town, so we don't have a massive Bunnings here and we are limited by what we can get. So I've got the angle just ready to go on the front edge there. Got our miters nice and tight on the corners. And Greg has, of course, being a chippy, made it slotted into here. I was just going to fill it full of gaps. And yeah, just making sure everything fits quite nice because we don't want dust coming past it. So I've got one screw holding that in at the moment, but we're going to sicker this edge to the fridge, pop rivet, and then we're going to have screws in from the front so it's a bit more easily removed. I've sealed absolutely every bit of this except for the back there, because it doesn't need to be, but all the bits that can come out into the van space have been sealed to shit with silicone. Yeah, it's an aquarium. So now we shouldn't have any dust. We're going to put a weather strip on the outside here to seal the outside. So this gap here is pretty much 20 mil, and that was because of the hinge that's offsetting us there a little bit. So we're just going to bump the floor up, bump the feet up on it to give us 10 odd mil. And then we've got this large 60 mil piece of aluminium, and that's going to cover the bottom edge here, and we're going to finish that nicely too. So yeah, just got to pack up 10 mil and we should be right. So I just got my locating screws back in there, making sure everything's nice and square, and then we've just whacked a couple of pop rivets in and black sicker, just a little bead behind the whole lot, so once that's cured she ain't going anywhere. Greg's just busy on the other side for the other side. I've pre-drilled all the holes for the wall mount on that side already because we can't get to it when the door's open or closed. And oops, just about to measure this side too and drill out top and bottom holes where we want to fix it back to the wall. So I've run the a little bit of a cable underneath the van across from the batteries over to the under the fridge here, and I'm just going to connect, well, drill a hole and bring our cable through that I just ran. I wasn't convinced that the cable that was there was going to be able to run the new inverter. So yeah, we'll just, I've got a hole under there from, I think this was the from the trailer plug that ran the fridge before. I'm not entirely sure, it wasn't actually hooked up originally, so that was just an assumption. So I'm just going to drill a hole next to that, bring it up, and then I'll just leave that there for now until I figure out what I'm going to do with it. And yeah, we'll mount the inverter under there, hook it up, connect it to the battery, and we'll run the fridge. So that's exciting, because I want to run the fridge to make sure the solar can keep up with it and charge the battery. So I don't know if it's going to do it yet, so here's to hoping. So you guys are in the cabinet here. This is the cable we've ran to the battery, and it's a larger gauge than the one that was already running to the fridge. So we're just going to leave this one alone. I might just roll it up and tape it up in the corner, clean up all this mess, put that on, and I think I might try and screw it to the wall so we've got a bit more space in here. And it should be looking, when we're done, nice and clean. And it's something like this. So have it mounted over there nicely. And yeah, that should be good. So we'll get to doing that. Down here at the batteries, there's 3 batteries under here at the moment. So this one here, it was connected across, like the output was connected across this battery terminals, and then the others were just daisy chained off it. And generally when you connect 3 batteries, or you want whatever, you connect like the first neutral and the last positive, so it spreads a load across the battery. So what I've done is I've created a bit of I cut in a jumper, so I grab the first positive and then the last negative. So I've tried to distribute it across the battery a bit better, and this is our cable we've just connected up. So I've put a fuse, everything on here, so it's a bit better protected than it was before. So all we've got to do is chuck this neutral on and we should be right. Seems crazy, but there's so little room in here. You've got to sort of just like, yeah, I can get a spanner in there and stuff, but yeah, it's tight, very, very tight. So that's him there, connected up, and I think I'll just try and tie all these together so they don't bounce around too much. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with that. It's not ideal, but it's going to get changed, so I'm not too concerned. Well, that finishes up our fridge install. It's running off the battery currently, but the solar doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot. The 2 panels are producing about 30 watts in good sun, so there's a bit of shadowing issues on the roof, which I might need to mend before we do anything else. But yeah, so we're pretty stoked with this massive upgrade from what it was. The door is quite thick compared to the like 12 volt fridges you get, but for the sake of how much food you can fit in there, I think it's well worth it. So I guess that leads us on to the solar. I think I'm gonna have to mess around with that, which is unfortunate. The last thing I'm going to do with the fridge is check how much current the inverter's pulling, and we'll convert that to watts, and then we'll know how well it's doing. The inverter won't tell us that, so I could run off the Troopy and that'll give us an answer, but I might just do this real quick. So I've set my meter here to DC amp clamp, and hopefully I can get in here and get a neutral. So I'll just put you down. So that's showing us about 8 amps, 8.3 at 12.5 volt, which was what the MPPT was saying. So I'll put that number on the screen, and that's how many watts it's using.